Good evening and salutations, my Days of Our Lives fans. Let's start off with Ava for a minute, because I feel like at this point, in some ways, this chick is having a full blown mental breakdown. Okay, because let's just remember that Charlie isn't really there. That is her subconscious. Okay, the evil part of her brain, the part that tells her to do bad, and I think this has a lot to do with Jake. Okay, this whole "let's kidnap Susan" has a lot to do with Jake, because now her subconscious is telling her not only um should she announce to EJ, yeah, I'm the one that kidnapped your mother, even though granted when she was talking to Charlie or whatever, which is really herself, that once she does that, she'll be on the run for the rest of her life. Okay? She won't be able to see Trip. She won't be able to see Henry. But oh no, because it gets worse. This chick, this chick is now thinking about kidnapping Henry. Just like, wow. Okay, so you're going to kidnap a defenseless old lady, and you're going to kidnap an infant. Okay. And Charlie or her subconscious convinces her to do it. So towards the end of the episode, she winds up calling up EJ. Now EJ, throughout this episode, it's still kind of worried because he's like, "Yo, listen, where is she? Like, she wants this food. She's not here. What's going on?" And of course, towards the end, she gets a call from Ava. I mean, he gets a call from Ava saying, "Hey, listen, I got your mother. I'm in control, and you do what I say. Um, and I'll give you back your mother in one piece if you do what I say or whatever." And, EJ's angry, but I'm looking at him, I'm like, EJ, listen, I don't think that your mother should have been caught in a crossfire, but you have done some very wicked and bad things, just particularly to Ava, okay? And there are consequences that happens as a result of your actions. Now, it sucks that those consequences had to fall, on your mother. But at the end of the day, this is something that you brought on yourself. This is something that you brought on yourself. Also, after Anna gets back and finishes whining about her, well, first she whines about the plane ride, and then she whines about her glass or her something being broken, some sort of ornament, expensive ornament, I imagine. So yeah, she's whining about just stuff in general. Um, things that one percenters tend to do. And EJ comes in there, and it gets a call from Johnny saying, "Hey, I need you to come over. I explained on the way. Just kind of keep this on the L." Um, or the D. I forgot which one they call them. But anyway, so she leaves. EJ tells Tony, "Yeah, just to let you know, Stefan is brainwashed. Yeah, he's brainwashed into thinking that he loves Chloe. I mean, I didn't do it, but I found out about it afterwards. Like Tony's gonna be like, oh, well, I mean, since you didn't do it, it's okay." So he's obviously upset. He's disappointed, and he's like, "Yo, what are you doing?" On top of that, from what Anna was saying, apparently their father, somebody in the family, tried to keep those two apart. So he doesn't like the idea of somebody playing mind games as far as, keeping two people apart. On top of that, that's their brother, So he's not happy about it in general. He seems like he's going to keep the secret for now. EJ tries to justify it. Oh, well, Gabby is an interloper, and we got to sit there and keep it away from everyone's hands and keep it in the family and this, that, and the third. And so what if somebody's feelings gets hurt? The bottom line is all that matters. I'm like, EJ, with that type of thinking, this is the reason. This is the whole reap what you sow. Once again. So yeah, Johnny and Wendy calls up, tells Anna to come over, and they need to learn on everything. Either EJ or Sharon has something to do with brainwashing EJ. Brainwashing Stefan, and Tony may know about it. He may be in on it. She doesn't like it, but for right now, she'll keep it on. She'll keep it on the DL. That's what it's, the DL. And she even calls Nick Granger to give up the information on where Roth is being held. Something called something with a J. Some sort of place. So Wendy's able to sit there and do her little techno magic and get them a jet, to get over there. So that should be interesting. Um Now let's talk about Xander. It's weird because in the description, it's described as Xander. I'm gonna call him Jander. Xander is having an attack on the conscience. He doesn't know if he should be doing this, if he shouldn't be doing this. That's what it says in the description. When I looked at it, I was like, it didn't look like he was really feeling guilty about it. Not really. He just was like, yo, listen, I just want to get my money. Like, yeah, he was going to treat her with kid gloves, make sure she was alive and everything, do the whole Batman voice, because let's be honest, that's what we're going to call it at this point. Um, Even when he tied her up and put the bag over her head, when he took it off, he felt the mask. But Susan was like, listen, I can read people and I can tell you don't really want to do this. Um, Now, the problem with this whole plan is that it seems like it's a perfect plan, right? Kidnap EJ's mother, have him pay money up, to let her go, and everything's all good. But I have a feeling that either Susan's going to be, I don't, his thing. Susan is going to be dead. Susan is going to be hurt. It's either going to be because of, regardless who did it, Ava and EJ, Ava and Xander are responsible. Now, speaking of Xander, because I did say Xander, right? Speaking of Xander, so Sarah comes in to the house and gives Maggie back the check saying, hey, listen, we can't accept this, and Xander was really hurt by this, and yada, yada, yada. And, Maggie's just like, all right, so what kind of job does he have? Oh, so he has a new job. Okay, so what is it? Well, what do you mean you don't know? Oh, he's keeping it in the dark? But you know why he's keeping it in the dark, right? So, of course, Sarah gets defensive, and Sarah's like, hey, listen, he said that, he's not going to go back to that life of crime. What he said was a joke, and yada, yada, yada. And this is one of those things where it's like, the one time that she's actually having super faith in him is the one time where he's really screwing it up. Okay? She's all like, oh, well, it's up to us to sit there and change them and remind them or some crap. Um, but, like I said, it's one of those things where it's like she has total and other faith. Other faith. Up until the point where she seemed like she's getting defensive at Maggie questioning Xander's integrity and thinking that he's going to go back to a life of crime. And, Maggie's like, listen, I love him, but at the end of the day, the dude is quote unquote a scoundrel, you know? Um, and I cannot wait until Sarah finds out what Xander did. Because I said this in the live stream a couple of times. I said this maybe once or twice in my videos, and I even said this to um, like somebody at my job. Because usually sometimes people come in and, there's this one person that I talked to about Days of Our Lives. And I said to her, I was like, see, this is why I don't root for Xander. This is why I don't root for Xander. Don't get me wrong, it makes him a very fun, interesting, compelling character because he's always going to find a way to screw up. It's just a matter of time. Especially when it comes to Sarah, because Sarah has such high standards. And granted, they're not unreasonable, but this is why, like, even though I don't really do the whole coupling things or whatever, if Xander was with Gwen, not only would she not judge him, but she'd be down for it. She is literally the definition ride or die chick. Straight up. As much as I don't like Gwen at times, she is that chick that you can, ride or die with. So we all know it's coming down the line. Now, with that being said, I think the last part is Stefan and Chloe. So they're making out, and Chloe stops, and Chloe's like, listen, I don't want to rush this, that, and the third. And then she's like saying to Stefan that, are you feeling for me for real? Or, yeah, so then she's not there questioning his feelings, like, yo, listen, do you have feelings for me? Or is this Dr. Roth doing? Now, Stefan tells Chloe that, listen, Gabby questioned him, up and down, and he swore to Gabby that he didn't do anything, and Gabby 100% believed him. And if Gabby believed it, then clearly, he didn't do anything. Anyway, long story short, he does convince her that, his feelings is real and stuff like that, and even though that, like, she's not completely over Brady. At first, Stefan's like, all right, let's go on a trip. Because, that's what it was. Before that, Chloe asked about HR, about them dating in the workplace and stuff like that, and going public. But he wants to sit there and take a trip, a business trip or whatever, just to kind of get away for a little bit, get away from Salem and away from all that heartache and everything like that. Like, I'm sitting there thinking, I'm like, you already are at a different job. Like, I mean, what more do you want? I mean, I get it. It's a small town. There's only a certain amount of places apparently there is to go as far as eating, so you're gonna bump into them eventually. But I'm like, you're a lot better off now than you were when you were literally working at Basic Black. Something he wants to like rush away, and so he convinces her. She's like, yeah, I'll go. When he sits there and makes the call and looks, I guess, on the computer or whatever, he realized that the jet is already in use because, Wendy did her whole tech thing. So then she's like, oh, well, I know I said I want to go, but now I'm not really too sure. And I'm just like, Chloe, you are... First, she's like, yeah, I'm ready to move on. I'm like, you don't want to just kind of just chill for a little bit, just kind of be by yourself. I get it. It's a soap opera. We got to sit there and move with the plot. You don't have time to be sitting there just, gathering your thoughts and kind of just loving thyself again. Okay? So I get it. But I'm like, boo, you haven't even been out of relation. You haven't even been out of relationship longer than, what, maybe 72 hours? And you're already practically like, oh, let's be together. Like, you move on quite fast. Especially even with Philip. This whole episode I was sitting there thinking about Philip because this dude is literally pronounced missing, could be dead, who knows. And Chloe's like, yeah, I'm ready to move on with you, Brady. And now it's like, yeah, I'm ready to move on with you, Steph. And I'm just like, Chloe, you are a piece of work. I'll say that much. You're a piece of work. Now, before I go, because I feel like I'm actually kind of like wrapped everything up. But it's going to be interesting with Anna and Tony because now they both know about Stefan being brainwashed, and they're both are kind of sworn to secrecy, you know? So they're both going to be sitting there having this lie, lying to each other. And when the truth comes out, it's going to be interesting how they react to each other. And with that being said, I'm going to go. So I want to thank you for watching. Be safe, and I will see you in the next video.